Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome everyone to our second session of this workshop. So, overcoming self-limiting beliefs. So, inshallah, let me introduce Sister Faida once again. I think all of you know her by now. So, Sister Faida is an educationist, and subhanallah, a lot of experience with course development and self-development as well. And inshallah, we're going to progress through this very important topic of overcoming, self-limiting beliefs. So in the last session, we kind of went through what are the needs of this course, why it is very, very important, and what the huge impact this will make if everyone starts working on this and correcting our belief systems and fixing it based on the Quran and the Sunnah. So I think the first is going to be, we have some questions regarding the workshop. So we're going to answer those questions first, and then we will go on to the material of that we have planned for today. Okay. Without any further ado, Sister Faida, go ahead. Bismillah.
Thank you, Sister Fana. I think your video is off. Maybe put it on if possible. Thank you. Okay. So let me share the presentation. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So, as Sister Farhana said, our first talk was really about realizing that we have a choice in life. We have a choice every minute to grow spiritually or to just live this life that we have granted by Allah Ta'ala. So that choice we make every second of our life. And if we choose to not improve, then there's no, it doesn't happen that we stay the same. We go down, we get worse. So there's only two things that happen. Either we improve or we get worse. So the talk was more about the choices we make, and we should be making the choice of improving ourselves. I think everybody agrees with that. And this talk relates to the first one, where we also looked at how the world is influencing us so much more. And if we don't do something about it, it's going to not only impact on us, but our family, our children, our future as well. So the second talk is towards the practical steps we can take to find the hidden belief system and to uproot it so that we can form new belief systems which align with Al-Kitab. So the way we'll start this workshop by asking a few questions. And, the first question is, why are you here? What is the intention? The intention always determines the result. So why are we here? Why are you here? You have to ask yourself. Sister Shazia knows everybody here. So Sister Shazia, you can ask any of the participants to please answer the question. Why are you here?
Yes, anybody can tell. Sister Nikat, would you like to answer the question why we are here today?
Why are you here? It's not we.
No,
it's very personal, yeah? Why are you here? So,
as a Muslim. Sister Nikat?
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
Walaikum assalam.
This is actually question why we are here as a Muslim. जो अब सीखा है उस हिसाब से तो हम अल्लाह के बंदे हैं और हमारा पर्पस जो है वो अल्लाह ही को जानना और अल्लाह के बताए हुए रास्ते के मुताबिक जिंदगी बसर करना है.
Right. So thank you, Sister Nikat. So we thank you for answering that. That's absolutely right. आपका viewpoint ये है. किसी और कोई और बताए? What is your why are you here specifically? It relates just to you. You're not saying as a Muslim or anything. Why are you here?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
वालेकुम सलाम सिस्टर शाजिया जी।
जी, मुझे बस ये कहना था कि मैं पर्सनली, जैसे आपने जब पूछा तो एकदम से दोबारा से मैंने अपनी इंटेंशन को वो किया कि वाक़ई में क्यों हूँ उधर। वैसे भी ज़ाहिर बात है पहले भी सोचा था, तभी हम इस क्लास में आज आई हूँ, लेकिन आपने पूछा तो दोबारा से काइंड ऑफ रिन्यू माय इंटेंशन व्हाई रियली आई एम हियर। तो मैं ये समझती हूँ कि जब से आपका अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह ये शुरू किया है, आई हैव स्टार्टेड टू कम नो माई सेल्फ बेटर। मुझे बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ कि मैं अपने आप को जानना शुरू किया है मैंने इन क्लासेस के थ्रू। तो इट मेक्स मी मोटिवेट टू नो माई सेल्फ मोर, टू मेक माई सेल्फ अ बेटर पर्सन, एंड देन आई आल्सो टू हेल्प माई कम्युनिटी। मतलब उसी नॉलेज को मैं कम्युनिटी को मतलब कैसे मैं बेटर सर्व कर सकती हूँ, ये मेरा पर्पज़ है।
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Okay, good. So, as we said, the main thing is that you will get out of this talk or this workshop what you intend. You won't get anything else. If somebody comes here, just to listen to the talks, that's what they'll get. They'll hear the talk. So the intention is very key that we make in anything we do, right? So the question number one, what is life about? Who's going to answer that one? In your viewpoint, what is life about?
Okay. अपनी शख्सियत और सिस्टर उम्र सलीन said अपनी शख्सियत और ज़ात की तशख़ीस और तामीर के लिए. Anyone else? जज़ाकल्लाह खैर सिस्टर उम्र सलीन. सिस्टर जुनैरा, आप आंसर करेंगे इस क्वेश्चन को? What is life about? Kiran Fatma? Okay, let's ask Sister Maria. Would you like
We
to
got
answer?
another one on building relationships, surviving. Okay.
Mhm.
To serve Allah Ta'ala as best as we can. All right, good. All right. So question number 2, do we as Muslims have the right purpose? What is the answer to that question? You can write in the chat or you can say it. Do we as Muslims have the right purpose? At this time, if you look at the world around us, at at ourselves and all the society around us, do we as Muslims have the right purpose? Okay, Sister Shazia Zeb says, no, we don't have the right purpose. Is that we don't see the right purpose? Okay. All right. Sister Sidra saying no as well. All right. Not really. Okay. Most of you are saying no, we don't have the right purpose. Okay. So as we discussed last time in per the Surah 9, Ayat 9 and 10, the life purpose is truly successful is he who purified it, and truly a failure is he who corrupted it. Right? So that would be, does anyone here think that they are pure? They're absolutely pure. Is that true of any one of us?
No.
Think no. Okay. So then there is room for improvement, right? If we see that we are impure and success is defined as being purified, so that becomes our life purpose, right? To become pure, right? And we talked about that is the purpose, and life is based upon relationships, right? I think I might have. So we covered this. We go back to this one. Which relationship is most important and why? Question number 3. Who's going to answer this one? Which relationship is most important and why?
Relationship with ourselves first and foremost thing is जो अब हमने लर्न की है कि हमें अपने आप को पहले अपनी वीकनेस अपनी स्ट्रेंथ्स का पता होगा, हमारा कंट्रोल क्या है, हमारी इम्प्योरिटीज हम कहाँ कहाँ पे गलत कर रहे हैं अपने आप के साथ। तो वो पीछे पर्पस जो ऑटोमेटिकली जब हम कोई गाइडलाइन को देखेंगे, मुझे समझाना नहीं आ रहा,
No,
बताना
no,
नहीं।
you're absolutely right. I got it. You've
तो
conveyed it.
वो हम सोल से कनेक्ट हो जाएंगे
Mm-hmm.
अगर हम उस गाइडलाइन को लेंगे, तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमारी स्ट्रेंथ्स और आएंगी, हमें पता चलेगा कि हम कितने वैल्यूएबल हैं, हम
Mm-hmm.
क्या कुछ कर सकते हैं।
Right, right. I think Sister Niket has answered both the questions. How will you improve this most important relationship? And also in the chat, we are getting answers, which are answering actually both the questions. So,
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, इस वर्कशॉप के बाद, फर्स्ट सेशन के बाद मुझे काफी मतलब जहन में आया कि वाई ये चीज जो है हमें अर्ली स्टेज पे क्यों नहीं पता चलती है, अपने आप को जो हम अपने आप पे वर्क नहीं करते। मैं ज्यादातर मैंने देखा आफ्टर 40s ही हमें समझ आना शुरू होती है।
right. I think a lot of it has to do with our education, the way we are taught religion. No, we are taught religion at quite a distance from ourselves. You know, it's this is it, you have to do this, you have to do this. It's not connected to ourselves, our thinking, our emotion. So I think that's what got missing. The intention was always there that we should rise spiritually. But the way it was taught, there was a gap in it. And you know, we are just trying to fill that gap. Right? Inshallah, inshallah.
इंशाल्लाह, थैंक यू।
So we looked at relationships, that this is probably the most key area that we will be judged on. What do you think? On the day of judgment, will Allah Ta'ala be asking us about how much wealth we had, how property we had, or jobs we had, status we had, or will we be accountable for all the relationships that we formed in this life, and whether we use them to benefit ourselves or we actually serve them? Yeah? What do you think? Yeah? Would you agree with that? Yes. What do you think will be asked on Day of Judgment? Will be, can we, we will be checked on relationships. What do you think? You know, when I talk to my neighbor, and I find I talk to her when I need something, and I have to change that. And she talks to me when she needs something. So this is like a little bit of, it's on the self rather than on really caring. And I started doing that after, but in this initial years when I moved here, it was more like that. So we need to watch ourselves and see whether we are talking to people or having relationships to benefit ourselves or actually to serve them. Is that okay? All right, next question. What are the four main factors contributing to a crisis across the world we live in? We talked about this in our last workshop. Anybody wants to answer that one? What are the four main factors contributing to a crisis across the world we live in?
Anyone can answer. Just open the mic and just answer. Sister Bisma, Kiran.
Difficult question? Is it a difficult question? Should we go over it? We covered it in the first lecture quite in detail. Okay, should we look at it? Chat, maybe we are not getting any answers.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we looked at where are we? Isn't moving. Okay, here we are. So this is what we said. This is what we said was the problem was the community had disappeared. We have become very individualistic and selfish. And religion, because it moved away from being the center of life, being the main foundation of everything, we then had a million paths we could choose, and everybody had a right to choose whatever they wanted to choose, to believe whatever they wanted to believe, to do whatever they want to do, to act the way they want to do. So that rise of individualism and selfishness brought also the decline of values and morality, because religion was gone. And family unit breakdown. These are the four main causes that has caused the crisis of disconnection in the world. And they're all connected to each other. You can see that. And they result in all the other problems that we are having of crime statistics growing, drugs and alcohol abuse on the rise, poverty and inequality growing, economic crisis, mental illness, huge problem, health issues growing all the time, injustice and wars. You see the news and you're just, it's just too much. Watching the news gets to be too much. And what it should be is this, Surah 6, and 162 ayat of this one. Surely my prayer and my sacrifice and my life and my death are all for Allah, the Rabb of the worlds. So that would mean every single minute? Would it mean every single minute, or is it just at prayer time? What does that mean, this ayat? All the time? Yeah, all the time. And how will that come to be? How will it come to be? Every single second, how? It's only when we get rid of our impurities. Only do we get closer to it that way, right? So we looked at this area and we said that there is a real need to awaken your inner self. Why is there a need to awaken it at this time? Why is it such a crisis at this time? Because today, in this world, we are impacted much more by what's happening outside across the world. Impact on our emotions, on our thoughts, on our attitudes, on our goals, on our decisions. We can be reached very, very easily, through the TV, through the radio, through social media. We are on WhatsApp groups. Everything connects to us. So they can influence us, but we as individuals cannot influence what is happening in society. And that's because we are not a community, we are not cohesed together, we're not a group together. So the definition of success today in society does not match Al-Kitab definition. Do you agree with me? What do you think, Sister Shazia? Does it match the success definition in society? Does it match the Al-Kitab definition of success, Joe?
No,
No.
no way.
No way. We are looking at people being successful in a very different sense. We call some person successful because of his material gains or status or money or how well his children are doing. So more than ever, do we need to guard ourselves from what we are inflowing, what we are receiving, because it's unconsciously we are being brainwashed. If you keep telling somebody something so many times, they finally believe it. They finally get used to it. And we are receiving that kind of data. Why are we so impressed with the West? How did that happen? We got brainwashed into it. And we need to, more than ever, purify ourselves and become strong individuals ourselves so that we can impact on our family, our friends, our community. And this, our Find Your Truth pathway that we have made is towards that. The courses are designed for that, for practical applications, so that you can actually empower yourself. And once you're empowered, so you empower others just by your purity, you empower it. Even if you don't verbally start telling them things, talking to them, telling them, giving them advice, just your purity in itself changes the environment in your home. And there's more, it's a much safer space for everybody to grow spiritually. So what is the basic realization you must have to move from impurity towards purity? What is the first basic realization you must have to move from impurity towards purity?
Control.
The simple, even go behind that. What is before that? Controlling. Yep. That's
Desire to change.
yes.
खुद को
Yes.
चेंज करने की डिजायर
Yes.
होगी तो ही हम
So you have to realize there's a need for change. If you don't realize that, it's not going to happen. Right? And what within you do you have to monitor? What within you do you have to monitor? आप में realization आ गई. You are now fully conscious. I need to improve. I need to purify myself. So what do you need to monitor in order to spot that where you need to change?
यही कि मैं कहाँ मेरा कौन सा पार्ट जो है बॉडी पार्ट वो एक्ट कर रहा है इस टाइम और मुझे क्या चीज को किन चीजों को कंट्रोल में करना है.
Yeah, you need to.
I need to recognize that I'm in a state of impurity.
Yeah,
right.
That would be 7. The answer to 7. Yes, this is up here. And what within you do you have to monitor? You have to monitor your emotions, right? You have to monitor your behavior and you have to monitor your thoughts. Yeah, there's a question that's come up on the chat. If 100 people around you are different, will one individual purity make a difference in society? What do you think? It will make a difference. I've seen it, and I've actually practically done it in a school. One person makes a huge difference beyond 100 people. So,
And the example is our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Bilkul, absolutely. One person makes a huge difference, and if we work on ourselves, we will, inshallah, bring change. So how often does this monitoring need to happen? Question number 9. That's correct, Sister Shazia. It needs to happen all the time. Yeah, all the time. Not at the end of the day, not at the beginning of the day, not at just the namaz times. It needs to be happening every single moment because we are living that moment, right? So what attitudes in you will prevent you seeing the impurity in you?
My honesty.
Will prevent, Sister Shazia, prevent.
Okay.
So it could be dishonesty,
My arrogance.
Yeah, your arrogance, right? Okay. All right. So once you have spotted the impurity, how can you shut the door on purifying that impurity?
Justification दे देते हैं.
Good. Good.
Justification and the other thing.
Well, that's correct. Justification is the right answer. So let's just quickly go over this. So the first of how do we move from the darkness to light, from impurity to purity, so that we are successful in this life and the hereafter? The first thing was the need for change. I should have the need for change in me. And then I should identify the impurity in myself and then learn the technique of replacing that impurity with purity. So those are the steps. So step 1 the switch must be on of self-awareness all the time, every second of the day. So you're checking your emotional, you do emotional check-in. Maybe you're feeling angry. Maybe you're feeling sad. Maybe you're worrying too much about something. Do an emotional check. And we suggested having a little private notebook because we're in the middle of things. Just note it down. I felt like this for, this thought is coming too often to me. Just write it down. And when you sit down and do it practically, you can handle it. So use the Purifying Me notebook to make your notes through the day. And your switch is on for self-awareness, on emotional check-in, your thought patterns. Some thoughts keep repeating, in your mind, so maybe about a person you keep on thinking too much. Maybe it's a result of an exam you're so worried about, you keep on bringing those thoughts. What will happen then? What will I do then? Again, note it down. It's an impurity. And then check your actions as well, how you behave. Maybe you're rude with someone. Maybe you don't talk to somebody. Maybe, there's a need for change if your switch is on self-awareness, right? And we said the switch is off if you have an attitude of arrogance. If you have arrogance and you think yourself too much and better and everything, you switch off of self-awareness. And if you have a victim mentality, look at what happened to me, feel sorry for me, everything.
Thank you.
So if there's a victim mentality, so where is the attention then? Where is your attention?
On self.
It is on self, but it's in the sense that you want other people to give you attention, right? It's not on seeing your impurity, but on actually getting attention from others. What about point 3, fear of vulnerability and judgment? Where is your attention there?
On the others.
On others, right? You're more worried about others than about your impurity. So there's no attention on actually looking at yourself.
Yeah, people pleasing is an impurity.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you have complacency, where you're self-satisfied. You're really happy with the way things are. So what would happen there? Would you be looking at impurities?
No.
You wouldn't be looking at impurities because you're self-satisfied. Should we be satisfied with life?
No.
No. I mean, it's a test. Who can be satisfied? We're in the middle of a test. So, the result is going to be announced. So, inshallah.
वो है ना, अपने नफ्स को जिसने अपने नफ्स को पहचाना उसने खुद को पहचाना. अपने यही कोशिश है आई थिंक लाइफ की कि अपने आप को अपने नफ्स को, और ये हर वक्त चलती रहेगी. एवरी मिनट, एक लम्हा के लिए भी अल्लाह ताला हमें अपने नफ्स के हवाले नहीं करना. तो
تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما.
तो ये नफ्स को काबू करने का ही सारा खेल है.
Yeah, absolutely. So then we come to the point of the attitudes we'll watch, because that attitude, these 4 attitudes will turn the switch off of self-awareness. Then you won't become aware of your emotional patterns and thought patterns or actions if you are in one of those 4 attitudes. But supposing you got the switch on, that one way that you can spot the impurity, but then quickly turn it off. How can we do that? By justifying it.
Yeah.
So the switch was on and you turned it off by justifying it. So these things will prevent self-awareness. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So now we move to, we covered this side last time, and this is the actual method of uprooting your false beliefs, your limiting beliefs about yourself, and replacing them with beliefs that will make you rise, inshallah, spiritually. So it's steps A to E that we are practically doing. It's covered in, Know Yourself Part 2, but here we are practically demonstrating so that you can get more practice on it. And you are very welcome to do the exercises. I would definitely recommend doing the exercises. That is why this workshop was made, so that you could go through each of the steps and master them. And then in life, you can always apply it. So that this workshop opens that door, because we are finding that even after part 2, the practice wasn't in to do it. So inshallah, we will offer that opportunity, and you can take up different impurity and do that. Did you want to say anything, Sister Zena? No? Okay. So step 2 is about our beliefs, and we talked about how we strengthen a belief, right? We took these examples. I'm not good at talking to people, and if I believe that, so then my potential to talk to people reduces, because I'm thinking I can't do it. I take appropriate action to not talk to people, to prove it to myself, and then I say, oh, I can't talk to people, and I make that belief stronger and stronger, right? So we took this thing about earnings and status defines me. This will increase your potential for earnings and status if you believe that. But the thing is that you have to, video number 3 on this workshop course is about the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. So if you're in the growth mindset, then you keep growing in that area. In the fixed mindset, you just don't improve. You just keep going down because you don't think you can improve. Fixed mindset has that attribute in it. So if you want to listen to the third video, Joe, we put in this workshop, and I put the link in the workshop group as well after this session if you want to hear it. So I'm a good parent. If you are in a fixed mindset, what will happen? Fixed mindset, you don't think you can change. You're basically thinking, I'm this way, this is the way I am. You don't see growth in yourself. So are you going to keep getting to be a good parent if you're in a fixed mindset?
No.
No. Might believe that, but you're not going to explore bigger and better things, how to be a good parent. You're not going to read this. You're not going to ask questions. You're not going to attend any workshops, because you already think that's a complacency thing that comes in here, right? So again, it applies to I'm a good Muslim. There are a lot of people who think I'm a good Muslim, and they don't grow spiritually because they have a fixed mindset on that. So the growth mindset is very important. So ask you an example. I'm better than others. If this is my belief, so what will that do? What potential will I have? I'm better than others. How will this cycle go? I'm better than others. What will it happen? How will my potential be? I'm better than others. I will try harder, right? If I think I'm better than others, I'm going to try and be better than others. If somebody's getting better than me, I will work even harder, right? And I will do the action to beat them, and then I'll prove to myself I'm better than others. So that belief will keep on getting stronger and stronger if I'm in the growth mindset. But if I'm not in the growth mindset, then I'll believe I'm better than others, and I won't really change. I'll just have that fixed idea that would be like self-satisfied. So it's just going to be an empty belief that will be there. I won't keep on expanding with it, right?
Right.
So if I have no time to do things practically, just hear these videos and everything, I don't have time. We have a lot of audience that is like that. They say, oh, we'll listen to the lectures. I don't have time. So if you have that as a belief, I don't have time to do things practically. What is going to happen to your potential? You tell me. I don't have time. Are you going to have time then?
No.
No, you're not going to have time because you've told yourself, I don't have time. A lot of people are doing this. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. So then you won't have time, and you're proving to yourself, I won't have time, and things will also come into your life to take your time away. Silly things, useless things. and you will sit and worry about things. So it will get stronger and stronger, and you will move away and away spiritually from that. So the decision should be, anybody here thinks they don't have time, they should start thinking, I have time, plenty of time. I have plenty of time to grow spiritually. Just go with that belief system. And also uproot this one. When you've done steps A to E, you can kick this one out. I have no time. Because this has also come into our belief system, I don't have time. Right?
Yeah, true.
Okay. So we last time looked at application, and we did the first step on arrogance. We took this as an impurity, right? We did this step. Does anyone remember that? Yeah, we did that. So I'm just going to take it to the next level today. So last time we did step A. And step A was locate the thing that causes the emotion. So we looked at my being arrogant, you being arrogant, any person being arrogant. And we looked at the situation of being arrogant. Maybe I'm arrogant with a person, and you have to write that down. When you become arrogant, you write down, oh, I was arrogant in this situation, or with this person, I'm always arrogant. I found at the hospital, I found this consultant. He was so arrogant when he was with his juniors, but he was so nice when he was on his own with me. And this is like when his juniors were there, he was really threatened or something. He was so arrogant, and he would talk down to me and make me wrong. But hey, when I had him alone in my room and I talked about my husband, and my husband was there, he talked to us so gently and so nicely. So, the situation could be a situation that brings about arrogance. It could be a particular topic. Some people are very arrogant about talking about religion. You talk about the deen to them, and they take on a very lofty position on it and treat others like, you don't know anything, I know everything. So you have to watch where that arrogance comes in. Maybe it comes in on status as well. Somebody's got, I've got a lot of money, so I think, oh, I'm really better than them, or maybe I've got a better education or better skills, or I wear better clothes, so I feel I'm more better than them. I've become a little bit arrogant about it. And then, as I mentioned last time, which I'm, stress a lot, is that we tolerate arrogance from adults, but we take it out on kids, because it's so easy to do that with children. So this is one area also of impurity where we feel that we can exercise. The children need to be treated with so much respect. They are more pure than we are, they are purer than us. So that's, I'm just saying, and when you're doing arrogance, you can write the situation that brought about that. And then you say also, well, what emotion did it bring about? Feeling arrogant. And you say, I feel better than that person. I feel better than, that's what it brings in me. I don't feel threatened. When I'm feeling arrogant, I don't feel threatened. I feel safe without consequences. I feel superior to everybody. So you write about that thing, what you did, and you analyze it and write that. Now we go on to arrogance as the impurity. We go on to the next step, right? So let's look at that one. So there were questions here on the arrogance side. And those of you who did the relationships and improving relationships and conflict resolution lectures with me, and some of you are on that course as well, we defined the problem. How did we define the problem? The difference between the state now and the desired state. That's a problem. If you're happy being arrogant, then it's not a problem. You'll continue to be, you like that state. So in this state, we have a problem. I am impure. I feel that this arrogance is not, I don't want any part of it. I want to purify myself. So I'm doing the check-in emotionally, my thought patterns and action patterns. So once I've done step A, I move to these 6 questions. So the first question is, what is the result was I seeking from arrogance? You ask yourself the question, what is the result you are seeking from arrogance? Right? And it could be, and I'm just giving you examples here. You could, it would maybe different for you, and just saying what could be the answer. Well, it could be I was seeking admiration. In my arrogance, I was being like that so that I could be admired. I could get approval. I could have a sense of superiority over others. It made me I want to desire, I want to feel I'm something too. So I act arrogantly. I feel important. And there's a sense of power. So that's what I'm seeking. Then your next question, and you can see how the more detailed you answer these 6 questions, it's very easy to draw out the belief system then, if you answer these questions in detail. Number 2, why were you seeking that? Well, why was I seeking admiration, approval, sense of superiority? Why was I seeking that? Well, I was seeking it to compensate for feelings of feeling less. That's what I was seeking it. Inside, I was feeling not good enough. So I became arrogant to compensate for that, compensate for the insecurity I have, right? Or to prove to myself that I'm better than. I have an image of how I should be, and I should look like this, behave like this, and I should have this model thing. I should talk like this, dress like this. And this arrogance brings me closer to that image of success that I have. I feel that earns me respect. I'm accepted, right? So that would be your, as an example, an answer to that question. And where did you come to be influenced by that? Question number 3. Where did you come to be influenced by that? Well, it could be that a parent influenced me. I saw my parent doing the same thing. Or it could be a spouse does it. So I took on that thing, as a way of going forward. It could be a friend. It could be cultural pressure. It could be accepted way of behaving. Social media could have influenced you. And I just formed that image that is successful. When I'm arrogant, I'm successful. So the next question is, how were you influenced and what attracted you? Well, I wasn't getting any attention, and this thing got me attention, so that attracted me. I wasn't getting any importance, and now I was getting importance when I behaved like this. I didn't feel people respected me, and this way I felt suddenly, oh, I'm being respected. I felt inclusive. Previously, I wasn't feeling inclusive. No, I felt apart and less. So I thought I had to change. All this inadequacy, not feeling important, no attention, I had to change. And I looked at those who didn't feel like that. And they were arrogant people. And I thought, okay, I should be like that, and then I will feel good as well. So I copied their model. So who in particular influenced you? The next question, number 5, who in particular influenced you? So it could be, you saw some family member behave like that and you looked up to them, and because they behaved like that, you behaved like that. It could be a friend, it could be a teacher, it could be a political leader, it could be anyone. And when did this occur? Well, things happen very early in childhood when we are looking at things and we are copying. And so, you might need to look earlier and say, oh yeah, look, maybe it was when I was very young, or maybe it happened later on. And it has occurred repeatedly. A friend brags about being arrogant, and you get impressed with that, putting others down. So looking important. And maybe there's a culture of having this egotistical behavior. The whole environment is about competition and one-upmanship. And I think it is, to a certain extent, it is in society like that. People put you down. So that arrogance earns you respect. And everybody had similar values. So I did get influenced. That would answer your 6 questions. And if you've written it all up and spend time on this, your belief system and flow out of it without any difficulty. So the last comment on here is let the emotion flow. Now, this thing is quite important because I have got arrogance in me. I have had it a number of times, maybe 1,000, 10,000 times I've been arrogant. So every time that emotion is in me, it is there. And now that I realize it's a bad thing that I'm arrogant, then I try not look at it because it's an ugly thing in me it's an impure thing. But that, as in part 2, we define what is emotion. It's an energy inside of you. It's an emotion. It's locked into that incident within you. So let that experience the arrogance. That means let it flow out of you. You can experience feeling arrogant. Let it be. It's okay to feel arrogant and let it go. Let all the energy out of you. Don't let it stay in your body. So these would complete your steps 1 to 6. And this is what the assignment is for this week that you will do. And I've written it out as well here, what we said, that you would be spotting your belief system. You answer what is the result you were seeking. So whatever we went over this, you can see it. Any questions on this area? Anything anyone wants to ask about the 6 questions that you have to ask about the impurity that you have spotted? Is it clear?
Ma'am, I need to ask one question. Can you just explain this? Let it flow. The arrogance. If I'm arrogant. So how do you think I should let this emotion go or flow, or not to let it set in myself?
Right. Well, let's take another example that will make it easier to understand. Supposing that you experienced somebody, really looking down on you, disrespecting you in public, so you've got that emotion stuck in yourself of being disrespected, and it's happened a number of times in your life. So it's very painful to look at that emotion of being disrespected. And I'm saying, feel the disrespect. Don't resist it, because then it is controlling you. You can feel it. It's okay. Everybody's disrespecting me, laughing at me, making fun of me. Let it be and let it out of you. So you're okay on being disrespected. That makes sense.
Yes, it's kind of easy now. But what I'm going to do after that? Okay, I'm not reacting to this emotion.
Yeah, you're more in control of it, Once you do that, even all the incidents that have happened to you about disrespect, they won't come and take control of you because you have released the energy from it.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Jazakallah.
Hmm. So,
Yeah. We have a question. Sister Faida. What is the difference between arrogance and ego?
I mean, ego is like a term that is used in psychology. It's understood differently. Arrogance is just an attitude you have. We say ego. I don't try and use terminology of psychology because it tends to get mixed up. So we just stick to these terms that we are using: false self, true self, and we stick with that. But arrogance is just an attitude. And it can be taken as part of the ego if you're looking at it like that. Yeah, because it represents the false self. Okay. So in our course that you are doing the self-limiting workshop, we've got 4 videos. How many people have watched at least 2 videos?
Yeah.
At least 2 videos. Have we got people who have watched 2 videos. So what you have to do is watch the 4 videos, tick it off. Your first section is done. That's all it's about. It gives you an idea. It would be good if you have done the control course and you've done part 2. Because those things give you the parts of you that you have to control in order to handle the beliefs. And then we have, the assignments over here that we have done step A. We've just stepped into B-1. This is what we are doing. And you've got the first assignment on justification. And some of you are on it. So you're doing B1 for homework, the first assignment on justification. And you're applying the steps we just said, 1 to 6, to that justification, right? As we go through it. So we're going to get you to the end of completing it and having a belief system based on the impurity that goes along with Al-Kitab. So we take away the impurity and replace it with purity. That is the whole idea. So this is part of those of you who are on the course should be heading towards this section now. Now that we've done it, you can do that and then move on from there. So what time is it now? We have some time. Sister Farhana had a great idea of what we should be doing if we have time. So first, what I'd like you to do the survey. Let's do the survey and then take some questions. And also let us know who is not on course and what is their reason for not being on course. So survey form, have we got the survey form showing, Sister Shazia?
No,
No?
not yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sharing now.
Okay. You watched for good. Oh, nice. Some people have watched it. Very nice. Good. So please get on to the exercises. I know some of you are there. I've got, I think, one assignment that I have, 2 assignments I have to mark. So inshallah, I'll do that. But please, बोलें।
मैम मैं ये कह रही थी कि सर्वे अगर आपके पास करीब है तो प्लीज शेयर कर दे मेरा ना काइंड ऑफ आई हैव लॉस्ट इट
Okay, let me do that.
Yeah, the survey form, inshallah, will just take a couple of minutes. So please, if you want to fill that out for us, yes, right there, the survey form in the chat. Just take a couple of minutes and, just fill in the survey form.
I stopped recording, yeah?
Yeah.